pleasure to meet you. Come tell what your name is. How you not famous? Cause your smile is contagious. You got a face, can't forget. Bring me your line, send a text. You can't go wrong, never that. Come correct, correct. My heart you collect. Attention, I pay until I'm in debt. And you ain't gotta be shy. Go ahead, give me one try. I'm tryna be your guy.
Musician Una Rams has recently dropped his latest body of work, and this is a mixtape he called Hold Me When It's Cold. The 8-track EP is described as intimate and romantic project that culminates a year's worth of ideas which came together to form a compilation of sexy songs for the most pleasurable listening experience. To tell us more about the making of this body of work, Una Rams joins us now via Zoom. Una, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Such an honor and a privilege to be on here. Thank you for having me.
Indeed, it is great having you join us this morning, Una. First of all, for the benefit of our viewers who might not know you, just tell us a bit more about who Una Rams is, where you come from, and how you started your musical journey.
Una Rams is a beautiful man that makes beautiful music, hailing all the way from Vendamaquarera in Limpopo. I am what I'd say a thought leader, because outside of the realm of music, I want to inspire a lot of people like myself that have dreams.
And when did the music bug bite you?
From a very tender age, actually. I remember being something like 4 years old or something with my brothers, and we wanted to start a boy band. So it's always been there.
Yeah. Now, tell us more about the music that you create.
I am a big fan of love, so I make love songs myself. I like to be very experimental and adventurous with my sounds, so I blend a whole lot of different things. And I think having or growing up in the South African landscape, you're influenced by so many different things. So I'm one to make very different songs in very different genres, but primarily songs of love.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier on that this 8-track EP is described as intimate and a romantic project. So what is it about love that fascinates you? I mean, is it based purely on your personal experiences, or are you just writing about love generally?
I just think it's a powerful force. And one of the things that allow us as human beings to connect together on a real different and higher level, outside of romance, which I find to be super beautiful. We can literally transform a person. But love is understanding, and in times like these, it's very important, I feel, for love to be what we lead with. Yeah.
Sure. Now let's talk about Hold Me When It's Cold. What inspired this body of work?
It's actually funny because I was working on my album titled Crush that is going to be coming soon as well.
Yeah.
But I played it for my manager, Savannah, and she asked me when I wanted to drop. I was set on dropping in June, but it sounded very spring, summer. So I sat down there and I was just like, you know what? I'll actually make a mixtape for the winter, and I'll call it Hold Me When It's Cold. And I think my main aim or primary goal when I make music is to make soundtracks that can accompany moments in people's lives.
Sure.
I envision every listener to be, the main character in a movie, and they play some Una Rams.
Now take us through the making of this project, Una, as well as some of the people that you've worked with that made this project possible.
It's crazy because even after conceptualizing the whole EP, it took only about 3 weeks to actually write the songs down. Some songs had existed before, but I had been closely working with a fellow friend of mine and producer. His name is Christa, who's very talented, that opened the doors and, allowed me to discover a whole lot of other instrumentals and producers such as Reload Beats. And I had a good friend of mine by the name of Kiss Beats, who's also a phenomenal artist, that's, worked with me tirelessly in the recording process. So I had a lot of fun doing it, but serendipity.
And when we listen to this 8-track mixtape, what are we going to hear and experience?
You're gonna experience, first of all, you have to set the tone right,
Sure.
For those lucky enough to be with their significant others, it's the perfect thing to play.
Sure.
So set the mood, get time right. All I'm trying to do or give a disclaimer for this project is, don't forget to pull out. I'm not trying to have another baby boom in the next 9 months or so.
Una, what really inspires you to get out of bed and creating music? Well, I'm guessing it's love, isn't it?
It most definitely is.
Okay.
I think it's quite a joy and treasure to find something that burns up deep inside of you and just fulfills you. And I'm grateful and fortunate that I found an outlet like music, because even in the hardest and darkest times, it's been something that's been therapeutic for me. Even making this project, I found myself, going through several life challenges, but walking out of studio with a new song that sounded so beautiful made everything feel like it would be better. And I think that's the message out there for anyone out there that has a passion. Lean into it and go for it.
That's such a beautiful message, man. I hope everybody who's listening will definitely take that into account. And what are you currently working on, Una, as we are heading towards the end of the year?
So there's quite a bit of surprises, but as you heard, this mixtape was kind of a detour. So I'm gonna have to finish my album up and offer that to the world next. So yeah, Crush is coming soon.
Okay, and how do we, what are the download details?
So you can find my music on any streaming platform. I know a lot of South Africans are tuned into Apple Music.
Yeah.
So any search for Una Rams on any of those platforms should get you all this beautiful music.
All right. And
so do yourself a favor.
Yeah, sure, most definitely. And how do your fans connect with you?
They can find me on all social media platforms. On Twitter, it's Una Rams Weird Kid. I know it's weird. On Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, it's Una Rams.
Okay, Una Rams, lovely chatting to you, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Awesome chat. Thank you for having me.
Great stuff. Thank you. We've just spoken to our first music guest, Una Rams, and he's been talking to us about his newly released 8-track EP titled Hold Me When It's Cold.